Many people think that the hardest part of working with China is finding a supplier. In practice, the biggest problems start exactly at the moment of purchase and payment. In this video, I'll explain how to properly buy goods in China, what payment options exist, and where businesses lose money most often. My name is Artem, and I'm the co-founder of the company Supplier. We've been working with procurement, suppliers, and international logistics in China and all over Asia for over 10 years. In the previous video, we discussed where to start your search for a supplier in China. Today is the logical next step: how to buy these goods correctly, especially when it comes to buying directly from Chinese platforms or factories. If we're talking about internationally oriented platforms like Made in China, AliExpress or Alibaba, then it's all relatively simple. As a rule, you can pay for goods directly with a card, use built-in payment tools, and get a basic level of transaction protection. For small purchases, tests, or samples, this is a clear and viable option. But it's important to understand one thing here: the most attractive prices aren't found there. The most favorable prices in China are found on domestic Chinese platforms. These are primarily Taobao or 1688, platforms that are specifically oriented toward China's domestic market. That's where real factories are most often found. There are fewer export markups and often a completely different price level. But along with this comes the main limitation: payments. Domestic Chinese platforms operate through AliPay or WeChat Pay. And there's an important point here that many foreign companies find out about too late. These payment systems are designed for Chinese residents and have restrictions for non-residents, often limiting amounts and not always working stably with foreign cards. As a result, businesses face a situation where the product is found, the price is great, but it's impossible to pay for it directly. In such cases, our Chinese office steps in. We can organize the purchase of goods and samples, handle the payment within China, and take over communication with the supplier. This allows you to avoid payment issues and language barriers and proceed with the transaction smoothly. When it comes to purchasing a large batch of goods, another fundamentally important point arises: can the supplier officially work for export? In China, a special export license is required for this, and it's important to understand here, many factories do not have such a license. If a factory has an export license, the scenario is very simple. You pay the invoice from company to company, and the supplier ships the goods with a full set of export documents. But if a factory doesn't have an export license, it's not a problem and not uncommon. Most factories in China do not handle exports on their own. In such cases, they work through trading houses or through specialized export companies. It is these companies that draw up contracts, conduct exports, and handle all the paperwork for the factory. The key here is to set up the process correctly and fix the terms before payment. In any case, we can join the dialogue with the supplier and help build a scheme that will be safe and clear specifically for your business. Buying goods in China is not just about transferring money. It's about understanding the platform, the payment system, export restrictions, and knowing exactly who you're working with. The better prepared you are for this stage, the fewer risks arise later, in logistics, quality, and deadlines. In the next videos, we'll look in detail at how to tell a factory from a middleman, why Alibaba isn't a supplier check, and what red flags you can't ignore when working with China. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. It's interesting about China here.